Hello everybody, it is Ben back again, and the draft is done. And it was kind of an uneventful draft weekend for what I was expecting. I mean, for the Habs anyway, not for the rest of the league. The rest of the league was just, you get a trade, everybody gets a trade. But the Habs just make one little one on Friday. Mark Bergevin makes a pretty damn good trade in my eyes, trying to help fill out a hole that we have now. David Schlemko acquired from the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas Golden Knights for just a 5th round pick, which I think is just really, really good. And most people agree. He looks like he could be 3rd or 4th guy in a pinch, probably like 4th or 5th, but like if you need him to play, he could be a 3rd or 4th guy. And he seems like he's kind of one of those underrated guys that kind of flies under the radar. Seems like a steal, though. I'm throwing up a graphic on the screen right now. Shot suppression is above league average, and shot generation is about on par with the rest of the league when it comes to defenders. So that's pretty good. Pretty solid, steady guy. One thing is he hasn't been used a lot. And that might be he's only good if he's not used a lot, as you see on the chart, or might be he could just be utilized more and be just as good. He might just be an underutilized player. I think you could maybe see him. Maybe see if we continue with the Markov-Weber, maybe see him with Petrie. But I don't know. That's all going to come down. That'll probably change like 15 times over the course of the season because it's always how it works in Montreal. But anyway, getting on to the exciting stuff, the draft. Let's talk about the draft picks and go on and on about how terrible or how good they are when most of us really have not seen any highlights of them ever. Because most people don't actually watch CHL hockey. But let's get into it anyway. Starting with the first pick the Habs made in the first round, 25th overall. Actually, somebody not in the CHL. He was in the NCAA at St. Cloud University. Ryan Poling, a center. I don't love this pick. He looks like he's probably going to be a pretty solid, steady guy. Solid both ends of the ice. 3rd or 4th liner, maybe. He's sort of like the big, tough, gritty guy. Sort of playing along in that vein. I don't love that pick, but okay. But once we get past the first round is when they start to pick up. Second round, 56th overall, we have the defenseman Josh Brook. He, with the Moose Jaw Warriors at WHL, he looks like a pretty solid pick. He was originally seen as more of a defensive defenseman, but kind of grew into an offensive role last season with 40 points in 60 games. So that's pretty damn good production. Obviously, all these players are a long way off, but who knows? He could be helpful, especially with the holes in our defensive prospect line we have now. Prospect system we have now. Could be helpful. I think that's why you'll see a noticeable trend in the player position that they selected this year. Also in the second round, 58th overall, a guy who I think could be a steal. Joni Ikonen, center, sometimes plays right wing as well for Frölunda, the same team as Arturi Lehkonen played on last year. Or the year before last year, because he's been with us, whatever. Same team that developed Arturi Lehkonen. Looks like that same thing might happen with Ikonen. Probably will be a couple more years over there, then move over to the Habs. From most consensuses, he's equally good passing as he is shooting, so that's dangerous to have that kind of weapon against defensemen. He had 41 points in 40 games, so that is the kind of center help the Habs need. Moving on to the third round, 68th overall, Scott Walford, a defenseman. There's a little bit of a trend here. Another strong defensive choice, contributes to both ends. 30 points, 60 games with the Victoria Royals in WHL. Also a lot of WHL defensemen in this draft class. Solid pick from what I know of him, honestly. I don't watch CHL hockey. The stats suggest he's probably going to be good if he develops well. It's a lot of that, what I'm going to be saying. Third round, 85th overall, Cale Fleury, defenseman, again from the WHL. Some consensus is he might have been undervalued a bit because he played on a terrible team, the Kootenay Ice. They were just very, very bad last year and the last few years. So a lot of people are saying he might have been undervalued for that. He looks like he could be a solid pick. 38 points in 70 games. Who knows? In the fifth round, 149th overall, Jarrett Tyszka? Tyszka, however that's pronounced. Another defenseman again from the WHL. There's a bit of a trend here. Guy that slid back a little bit was projected to be a second rounder. He goes in the 5th round, so who knows? Maybe there's a little bit. So maybe there's something there. A few outlets had him projected in the 2nd round. Defenseman that's solid at his own end, but also has some offensive upside. 24 points, 54 games. That's another trend here. A lot of defensemen this year. And then the last pick the Habs made was in the 7th round, 199th overall, Caden Primo, a goalie. The only goalie this year. From all accounts, just a solid NCAA goaltender that helps add to the depth the Habs have at that position. So, good pick. Have some time to develop in the NCAA because the Habs kind of got a bit of a glutton of goalies. So, there you go. So, in total, 2 centers, 4 defensemen, and 1 goalie is the Habs draft class of 2017. And on the whole, I'm pretty happy with it, actually. I didn't love their pick of Poling, but otherwise, from what I can gather from the information I have, which admittedly I'm a very poor judge of these kids' talent. Kids, they're about the same age as me. Maybe a little younger, actually. Oh, that's weird. I'm older than draft picks. That feels weird. But I'm obviously not going to be the best judge. I don't watch a whole lot of CHL hockey. But from what I know, it seems like it was a pretty good draft class. Moving on to other things, Alex Galchenyuk is still a Hab. I did not think I'd be saying that at the end of draft weekend. Might he actually be signing a contract? I think he might. With the space we freed up miraculously losing Yellen, he might actually stay a Hab. With all the rumors going around that there's a lot of teams that are interested, but it seems like they're not giving Bergevin what he wants, so he's not giving up Galchenyuk for a low price. He might actually keep Galchenyuk. I'm pretty excited about that. As for Radulov, reports came out that he's asking for a 7-year deal for about $6 million each year. And then another report came out that the Habs countered with a 3-year deal. The way I see it working out, if he stays with the Habs, it's either going to be 4 or 5 years for about probably 5.5 each year. That's the only way I see it making sense for the Habs. And if he stands firm on anything longer, I do not blame them at all for moving on from him because you just can't hamstring yourself that much with a guy who's already 31. I think you can't sign a 7-year deal with that. You just can't. I mean, as much as I would love to keep Radulov, trust me, I loved him all year. He was fantastic. You can't sign that deal. You just can't. But anyway, it should be an interesting few days, and who knows? Maybe by tomorrow when I get this uploaded, Galchenyuk and Radulov will both be gone, or maybe they'll both be signed. I don't know. But either way, it should be a few interesting week and a half-ish before July 1st, and then another day of crazy begins. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.